welcome to the 116th Norwood Day Parade. I wasn't sure that we would be pulling this off about 12 hours ago. It was a little scary this morning when you woke up and found all the destruction that was around town, but once again, the Norwood Day Parade has never been rained out, and I am so happy to have next to me again my colleague, Jane Grody. Jane, you've been absent for a few years from the stage up here.
That is true. I was gone the last couple of years, but I'm very glad to be back again, Donna, and I'm glad to be here with Donna Lake.
Thanks. Well, we're really excited about this, and let's start off the evening with a message from Tracy Tomer from the Chamber of Commerce, who sponsors the Norwood Day Parade. Tracy?
Hello, I'm Tracy Tomer, President of the Norwood Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the 116th Annual Norwood Day Parade and the 51st anniversary of the Norwood Chamber. The Norwood Chamber of Commerce is thrilled to present this year's parade to the community and celebrate our 51st year in existence. We would also like to thank all of our platinum, diamond, gold, and silver parade sponsors. They've been very generous with their time and their money. Without them, this tradition would just become a memory. In addition to organizing the parade, the Chamber will be presenting trophies and cash prizes to various parade participants. So cheer for your favorite float. And now I would like to present the Norwood Chamber of Commerce's 116th Annual Parade. Please enjoy yourselves, and we hope that you will continue to visit the parade every year.
All right. Well, this evening we do have a distinguished panel of judges. Jane, I think it's time that we introduce the judges. Why don't you introduce the first?
All right. And of course, these are the judges who will be giving out the trophies for the various the floats and the various parade entries. So these are the people that everybody has to impress. So let's take a few minutes to meet them. Our first judge is Austin Johnson, who's been a Norwood resident for 20 years. He's married to Melinda, who's one of the hardest working people in the parade.
I agree.
And she's the secretary-treasurer of the Norwood Chamber. Together they own Quality Professional Services, a consulting company. Austin is retired from the Air Force. He videotapes and produces the church services for the New Bethel Baptist Church on Norwood Cable Television. And his spare time, assuming he has any, he likes boating on the Ohio River.
Thank you, Austin. Next, we have Melanie Nathan. Melanie has been a Norwood resident for 10 years. She formerly worked for the Credit Bureau of Cincinnati, so she probably knows a lot of us here. She has extensive knowledge of credit reports and credit scoring. She's married with a toddler and is currently a full-time realtor with Sipsey Klein office in Hyde Park. She has experience in rehabbing, investing, and helping first-time buyers locate a home that matches their budget and lifestyle. And during her spare time, she enjoys boating, hiking, and spending time with her family.
I'm just amazed that anybody has any spare time among our judges.
I agree.
Our third judge is Jim Thaxter, who's the owner of Queen City Web Hosting and SEO Services that has been serving the needs of small business on the web for over 8 years in the Cincinnati and Dayton area. Jim is a longtime Norwood resident, and we welcome him here as a judge tonight.
And our final judge is Cynthia Rogers. Cynthia works for Smith Barney, located in Norwood, as a financial planner. That's over in the Cornerstone, I believe, and has been in the financial services business for many years. She lives in Western Hills with her 2 children, Alex, 17, and Lauren, 12. Cynthia is a native Cincinnatian and enjoys being part of the Norwood Chamber and getting to know the people of Norwood. And you'll notice there was no mention of spare time with her because she has a 17 and a 12-year-old. I don't think she has any spare time.
So these are our judges for the parade tonight, and we look forward to hearing their results. We hope to be able to announce those results at the end of the parade. And I just want to say I'm so proud of Norwood. It doesn't matter if we have rain, lightning, winds, trees down all over town. We still have the Norwood Day Parade, and we still have a lot of people coming out, and we're glad to see everybody out here tonight.
Welcome, everyone.
And as traditional with the beginning of part of our parade, it's led off by the Norwood Police Department and then by the Victory Park veterans. And you can see them carrying the colors down the street to start off a parade as they always do. Now, the Norwood Victory Park veterans have done a lot of work for the city, especially at Victory Park. If you've seen the big tank up there, the pavers with the names of all the people in Norwood that have served. in the military. That's all due to the work of the Victory Park veterans. They also sponsor a Memorial Day service, and usually the Rolling Thunder bicycle group that comes in honor of MIAs and POWs. So we thank the Victory Park Veterans Association for all the work they do for the city.
You know, as at the health department, part of my job is to do, unfortunately, preparedness planning in case something really bad happens in the city of Norwood or in the surrounding communities. And so when you think of all the really bad things that could happen, it's nice to know that we have our armed forces that are looking out for us and making sure that we're safe, not only in our city, but around the world.
And the Color Guard is actually from the American Legion Post 123, which is a American Legion post that's been in Norwood for many, many years. And again, that has always been our traditional start of the parade. We also have behind the Color Guard members of the Rolling Thunder Chapter 9 Ohio. These are people who honor our veterans and especially our POWs and our MIAs. And there's also members of other motorcycle clubs behind them. And I believe we also have a member of Matt Maupin's family that is part of that parade entry.
I think we had hoped to have either Keith or Maupin or Mr. Maupin, and I think they may not be able to come tonight, but there is a member of their family, and of course we were just devastated to hear about Matt when he was found, but glad that Matt finally came home. Not the way we wanted, but at least Matt's home.
And the Color Guard is now coming up through past the reviewing stand with the typical noise of the Norwood Police Department. And I think there were a lot of sirens being heard all through the city last night after that nasty wind knocked down a whole bunch of trees.
You know, the veterans have a ceremony as well where if you have an old American flag that needs to be disposed of, they do have a burning of the flag. It's in a very respectful manner. Just do a lot of good for our city. And as you said, Jane, on Memorial Day, they have a really moving ceremony up at Victory Park. Very dedicated to making sure that park remains right where it is, right in the heart of town. I know there's some controversy about another Veterans Memorial right in the middle of another town. I don't think ours is in any danger of going anywhere.
And it's such a pretty park, right in the middle of downtown Norwood, so it's always fun to have that little kind of quiet place. There's a gazebo, and I know Donna, the health department has, through the recycling grants, have put in different park benches and...
Correct. Park benches and some tables. And on the Victory Park Veterans float, it says, Matt's home now. Thanks for your service. And we do thank him.
And also along with this entry are members and vehicles of the Ohio Army National Guard 174th Air Defense Artillery Battalion. There's some mean-looking machines coming down the road.
Looks like might be some little gun or missile launchers attached to these things.
I know recently at the Norwood Fireworks, some of these vehicles were present, and children were allowed to crawl into that and do some virtual work in that. So these are pretty impressive vehicles. You know, most of this unit has been deployed at least once in the war on terror, both in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And so we thank them again for their service. You know, I would not want to look at some of those vehicles. Not this vehicle. This one has some very cute people in them.
Those are members of Rolling Thunder.
And as everyone knows, we get some very unusual vehicles. This is part of the Army National Guard.
Jane, the Ohio Army National Guard is a really important part of our preparedness. If we need to get medications out to folks really quickly, they're going to be delivered from a point in the state of Ohio down to each of our points of dispensing by the Ohio Army National Guard. And so we thank them for their service. Hope we never need them.
I hope so too. And these are the scary vehicles I was talking about coming up through now. Well, That one there on the right, that looks like one of those Transformers.
It does look like, they all look like Transformers.
As long as they don't build themselves up into one of those gigantic robots that'll come down and stomp on City Hall.
We have some Jeeps that have been restored, World War II Jeeps. It was shipped to England for the 50th anniversary of World War II, and it was one of 3,000 that was purchased in California in 2001.
We also have a 1945 Jeep that has been restored, and here comes the members of the Color Guard from the Norwood Police Department.
We've got the Honor Guard unit, followed by the SWAT truck or the SWAT van. I had an occasion to follow that SWAT van one time when they made a run to one of the houses in Norwood that was suspected of drug activity, and it was quite impressive.
And they're followed by our local Citizens on Patrol. Now, this is a wonderful volunteer organization that has gotten out and helped us augment our police. And there's the SWAT vehicle coming by. And you know, that SWAT vehicle is used not only in Norwood, but it's also used by Hamilton County. They keep it here, and we help maintain it, but it's used all over the county, and it's certainly a good thing to have.
It's a whole mobile command center. You can run an incident right out of that vehicle.
And here's the Citizens on Patrol. They're an all-volunteer group of Norwood citizens who patrol all of Norwood. They're not the one making all the noise. That's the fire trucks behind them.
You know, if you're interested in being a member of Citizens on Patrol, you can contact Lieutenant Williams, 458. They're so active in the BAMES, they're so active in Citizens on Patrol.
And those fire trucks were out a lot last night, I know, with wires down and everything. Back where we go to the Citizens on Patrol, there's Bill Graff right there in the bottom.
See Jenny Kemper,
Casey Brown. Good volunteers. All right, and now we're coming up on our Grand Marshal, Chris DeBrozzi.
Announcement, Alnair Inc. is a platinum sponsor. Thanks again to Alnair Inc. for their continued support of the Norwood Day Parade at the highest level of sponsorship. Alnair Inc. is a commercial real estate company and provides design and build construction services. And a member of Alnair is Chris DeBrozzi, our Grand Marshal.
And it's nice to see Chris not standing up in front of council chambers showing off pictures of various projects, although we appreciate seeing him there. He leads most of some of Alnair's most significant real estate development projects, including Linden Point on the Lateral in Norwood and Turnpike Distribution Center near Pittsburgh. And following them is the Chamber President, Tracy Tomer. Tracy is the current president of the Norwood Chamber of Commerce. She is the licensed real estate agent with RE/MAX, specializing in seller, buyer, and investor clients. She also owns and manages investment property in Norwood. Tracy is an honors graduate of the University of Cincinnati.
I think we're back at Chris DeBrozzi and Alnair. This is still the Nair truck here.
Okay.
Chris joined Alnair in 1987 as an architectural intern. He received his Bachelor of Science in Architectural Engineering Technology from UC.
And now we're back to Tracy. We're trying to coordinate what we're seeing on the what you're seeing on the television, which is going by, which doesn't always happen. So forgive us if we start talking about someone you're not seeing on TV. The folks out here seeing some of the things we're seeing. But this is Tracy Tomer, who's current president of the Norwood Chamber of Commerce. And they're followed by the Mayor Tom Williams, and just Mayor Tom Williams, and he's being driven by Bob Zumbiel in that fancy Corvette that I understand was a gift to Bob from his children.
I'd like to recognize a diamond sponsor, Zumbiel. C.W. Zumbiel is a manufacturer of folding curtains and beverage carriers located on Harris Avenue, and they're longtime Norwood Chamber of Commerce members and supporters. Jane, we know a little bit about this next float, don't we?
I think so, Donna. I'm about a 20-year member. How many of you?
You're a neophyte. I'm 25 this year. 25 years in the club.
And we're just all babies compared to how many years we've had Norwood Day. This will be the 74th, I believe, Norwood Day.
I believe you're right.
And everyone is invited to come out. There are our scholarship winners. This is what we raise the money for the people who win the scholarships. The scholarship is given every year to 2 Norwood High School women graduates.
The one recipient is Leetta Shepard. She's riding with our president, Kay Kristen Stevens, who just was recently married. Leetta is going to Xavier University.
And this is not Leetta on there.
It is not Leetta.
This is to remind you what Norwood Day is all about. By the way, Norwood Day is tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. up at Coney Island. There is the baby show. There are many babies who have grown up to be beauties who have won the Norwood Day, although I don't think that baby there, but...
We have bingo, we have swimming, we have combination raffle. We just have fun. We invite everybody to come up tomorrow. Join us for a day of fun and sun at Coney. Thank you, ladies.
And we just saw Frisch's Big Boy go by, and now we're coming up on the Norwood High School Marching Indians.
We do have another gold sponsor, School Outfitters. School Outfitters is located on Franklin Avenue. It's a business-to-business seller of school furniture and related equipment. And School Outfitters has sponsored the Norwood High School Marching Indians. So, Jane, let's hear the Marching Indians and enjoy. The band is under the direction of Patrick Bauer and Joe Waked. They have had a remarkable season this past season. They won 2 Class A band championships, Best Percussion and Best Guard trophy during the 2007-2008 season, and they appeared in the Findlay Market Cincinnati Reds opening day parade this year. Congratulations, Marching Indians.
And they're followed by representatives of our Norwood City School.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my nephew, Nick Jones, number 75, who's riding on the truck. He's the starting center for the Norwood football team this year. Quite a big boy, following in his dad's footsteps. Norwood, I think, is looking forward to having a really good season this year.
And we have varsity soccer. Some people call that football, we don't, but...
You know, the cheerleaders went by as well. They do such a good job of trying to raise spirit at football games, basketball games, soccer games. The girls are, really athletes. Sometimes people don't think of cheerleading as an athletics, but it really is an athletic event, and we thank them for raising the spirits when we're at our different venues.
And they're followed by representatives of the various elementary and middle school, high school. I see coming up Allison Elementary School. Can't hide that Allison pride.
We have several members of the Board of Education here, along with Superintendent Steve Collier. We have some of our new administrators. Welcome. Welcome to the Norwood Day Parade. We hope you're here for many, many years. Look forward to having you here.
And we welcome all these students who are participating in this particular parade.
Allison Elementary, where they say, can't hide that Allison pride. We've got some members, I think, from Williams Avenue and Williams Avenue Elementary.
Now coming up at the Norwood Little Indians football team. They won the division champion in 2007.
They joined a new league where they play against teams from not just in Norwood, but from all over the area. And they've been really very successful. The Little Indians cheerleaders are from grades kindergarten through 6th grade. The football players are from K to 6. And out of our 6 teams in the new league, they had 3 division champion titles and 2 Super Bowl winners. So it's really awesome for Norwood. And I'm going to do another shameless plug. I have another nephew who plays Norwood Little Indians football, and that's Bradley Jones, and he's number 74. I'm going to have to look for him as he comes by.
And now we have representatives from the R.E. Lindner Family YMCA. And At YMCA has certainly been an active part of Norwood for our youths with all the different activities they have there, day camp, the swimming pool, the swim team, fitness, sports.
Karate classes, kickboxing.
Group cycling. I know a lot of people work out down at the YMCA.
And there have been several upgrades that have been made, I understand, to that workout facility downstairs. So go check out the Ari Lindner Family YMCA.
There's also Team Success at the YMCA. That's a very special program. That's a youth program that's been sponsored by Carl Lindner. The purpose of Team Success is to build strong kids and families for positive community involvement. They ask people to come join them in the pool parties, chess tournaments, and their annual block party. And certainly the Team Success is something that has been very important at the YWCA.
And J.D. Faust, a Norwood High School graduate, is one of the folks who is leading that Team Success.
And we certainly thank Carl Lindner for his support of this program.
Absolutely. I've got something else to show you a little later on, compliments of Mr. Lindner. Our banner went by with Jeffrey Anderson Real Estate. He's a diamond sponsor. Jeffrey R. Anderson Real Estate is a real estate development company specializing in retail shopping, and I spend lots of time in that retail shopping over at Rookwood Pavilion and Commons.
And now we have Grace United Methodist Church. That has been a service serving the Norwood community since 1884. The Grace Church is under the leadership of Pastor Kevin Job, who's someone very familiar to the people in Norwood.
And he's singing tonight. They send teams to Cuba and Haiti on mission projects and volunteers to State Avenue Church in Cincinnati.
And now we have Ryan Carpentry's All-Stars softball team. Their record was 11-1, and every girl on the team contributed to make it a successful season. The softball team is the first team to come out of the first all-girl T-ball team from 2 years ago, so they've stuck with it and have been very successful with an excellent season this year.
Congratulations. The Reds could learn something from these girls.
Do they have a closer?
I bet.
And we just had the Norwood community television truck go by. They didn't even put them on camera. I'm not sure what. But now we're on to the Norwood Knothole teams.
We do really want to thank Norwood Community Television for sponsoring our or doing all the televising of this parade tonight. They do so many things throughout the community. They do athletic events. They do Norwood City Council, the committee meetings, and so on.
And now we have all the stars from the Norwood Knothole teams.
Norwood Stars is a girls fast pitch softball for 10 years and under. Oh, we have the Girl Scouts, Norwood Girl Scouts, and I see my neighbor. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you again.
And the
family.
By the Cub Scouts Pack 515 and Boy Scout Troop 399. Those are, I assume, are the Cub Scouts. They were back to the Girl Scouts. What are those outfits they're wearing there?
They're cookies, I believe. I think I have several boxes of those in my closet from their cookie sale, which they're famous for. Cub Scout Pack 515 and Boy Scout Troop 399. They're from St. Cecilia Cub Scout Pack. And for more information, contact Ray Gardner at 324-7788.
And there looks like a very big soccer ball going by us here. I'm assuming this is from Norwood Recreation.
It says, soccer, get in the game.
Actually, this is the Norwood Soccer Association. Keeps kids active in the game of soccer since 1989. The Soccer Association puts about 400 kids on the field. And they're being followed by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Pipe and Drum Corps.
They're appearing courtesy of Sheriff Simon Lease and led by Sergeant Steve Watt. It's a group of volunteers, and they've appeared in many events throughout Ohio, and they're known especially for their outstanding performance in the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And don't ever ask what's worn underneath those kilts. They're followed by the elect Norma J.H. Davis Judge Committee. And Judge Davis is running for judge for this year in Hamilton County. And we welcome them to this parade. Welcome Judge Candidate Davis. And following them is the Norwood Church of the Nazarene, who's sponsoring a back-to-school bash on August 2nd at 10 a.m. And their vacation Bible school is August 4th through August 8th.
You know, that back-to-school bash is really cool. Folks from all over the area can come that day. They have free backpacks, they have crayons, pens, pencils, notebooks, anything that a child would need for back to school. And they do fundraising throughout the year to be able to purchase these things, and they have some donors who actually also help them. But all of these things are given away to the school children who need school supplies, absolutely free. It's a wonderful mission. Thank you, Norwood Church of the Nazarene.
And they're followed by Patricia Clancy for Clerk of Courts. Patty Clancy has been a former state senator on the west side of town, so we welcome her to Norwood. I know she's been here before, and she's running for Clerk of Courts in this November election. So we welcome Patty to the right side of town.
That's right. Now, what does the Clerk of Courts do, Jane?
Well, the Clerk of Courts is the one that's responsible for taking care of all the paperwork, making sure that the records are kept. There's probably the biggest department in the county, and the current Clerk of Courts, Greg Hartman, is following Patty Clancy. He's running for county commissioner this year. And
we know the county commissioners. There are 3 county commissioners that do run the day-to-day operations. Just as you and the city council run our city, the 3 members of the county commission run the affairs of Hamilton County.
And there are 2 county commissioners who are up for election this year. Never have the whole council, unlike us, where we can have possibility of a new council every 2 years. The county commissioners stagger their race, so Greg Hartman is one of the candidates for county commissioner this year. And we have the Norwood Presbyterian Church coming by.
Well, I think we might have missed a car. We have the Hamilton County Educational Service Center, the Early Learning Program. They may have already gone by, but this is the Head Start, and they're taking applications for children that will be 3 years old on or before September 30th, and families must meet some income requirements. But if you'd like to enroll your child in Head Start, call 589-3012.
And this is the Norwood Presbyterian Church, which is located on the corner of Floral and Washington Avenue. They celebrated their 121st anniversary in May of 2007, so I would guess, or May of 2008, I guess.
I see Pastor Chris White walking down the middle of the street waving. She is also a member of Norwood Business and Professional Women's Club. She's very active with our School Health Advisory Committee and Wellness Committee. They just sponsored a free health fair. That Norwood Presbyterian Church has been very, very active in the community, and we've been very proud to partner with them. Welcome, Pastor Chris.
They do have all kinds of different programs. I know they've had family game night there. They've had a coffee shop and that. So a lot of active. There's Myrrh Pointer, a local realtor who is very active in that church. And so it's
they have their services on Sunday. So call the church for the times and for the various services.
And now we have another one of our sponsors, the gold sponsor, TB Sports. They sell trophies, plaques, silk screens, and embroidery apparel, and they've just recently moved down Montgomery Road.
They did, a little bit south to a much bigger shop.
And really fixed up the place. And now we have America's twirling team. That participates in local parades. They compete at the Ohio State Fair. They accept members ages 4 to 21 with all kinds of twirling abilities. Wow, that was good. They're accepting new members, so if you're interested in twirling, the good old-fashioned talent. I think most Miss Americas at one time were baton twirlers.
I've always tried, and I could never do that. I'm a bit of a klutz when it comes to batons, with one, much less 2. And they've been competing for over 30 years. They've been in the area for more than 30 years. I see some of the little kids in the back, so we may have those little ones. It says they're from ages 4 to 21.
Now, I've always wanted to be a baton twirler, but I wanted the one with the flames on it. But people, considering how klutzy I am, people would never let me get close to one
I
of
can't
those.
imagine why, Jane.
Just because some fires get started, people just have no sense of humor about that.
These girls have been walking and twirling since Ashland Avenue, Montgomery and Ashland, so it's been a while.
And they are followed by Pat DeWine for judge. Pat DeWine is currently a county commissioner and is looking for a new position as judge of Hamilton County Common Pleas Court. That's the court that deals with the serious cases, felonies, and large civil cases.
I was a victim of a crime on Saturday, but luckily it was a misdemeanor type, so yeah, I won't have to go to Common Pleas Court to testify.
And as part of all the Norwood Day or Norwood Week festivities is the Holy Trinity Festival, which takes place this week. And that's a very special time. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a new location, a new tradition. It's going to be up in the church parking lot on Montgomery Avenue. So don't go down to Fenwick, go up to Montgomery Road right next to the church.
I think it'll be pretty visible.
I think it will be very visible. There'll be a lot of good stuff going on. There's Father Ray Kellerman, the distinguished pastor of Holy Trinity Church. And he's with the St. Nicholas Academy Knights, which are the school that Holy Trinity has joined with St. John's in Deer Park to form. And it's a great school, and looking forward.
6 to midnight on Friday, 5 to midnight on Saturday, and 4 to 9 on Sunday. Join us.
And we have one of our local politicians, Joe Sanker, who's council at large. Joe has been on council since 2000, and he's got his wife, Jeannie, and his children, Maria, Kevin, and Keith. And he's in his traditional red, white, and blue American flag tie.
And Jeannie's got that wave down pat. I'm telling you what, she's good. And she always has a smile on her face, and that is genuine. She does that all the time.
And they're followed by Chuck Barlow, who's the council member for Ward 3. He's a member of the Streets and Infrastructure Committee, the Community Development Committee, and chairperson of the Finance Committee. So he's got quite a bit to do these days. He's a Norwood High graduate and a graduate of the University of Cincinnati. And Chuck is in his first term as elected. He took over the term after the previous council person resigned, so
right.
He's been on council for about 2 years. There's Tim Maloney, the city treasurer.
Tim's in his 11th year as treasurer, and he's with his wife April, and he has several daughters, Liz, Maggie, Louise, and Sarah. And among them, I think, is grandson Gavin. Those grandkids are way more fun than kids.
You have a new grandson.
I do. He's about 10 months old.
And that's followed by someone who has lots of grandsons, lots of grandchildren, John Mumper, and looks with a lot of his family is there, his wife, his children, and their spouses and significant others, and all those grandchildren. John makes sure the population of Norwood keeps growing.
I think Katie, his daughter, is engaged to Timmy Rutgers, so there'll be a wedding in the very near future.
And now we have the Norwood Service League with its executive director, Lupe Hoyt. The Service League has recently moved itself back to its original roots.
That's right, on Lawrence Avenue.
House that was renovated with a lot of help from volunteers like Bill and Vivian Graff, and now is in the center. So the Service League has lots of important things that they do. And now we have the Cornerstone Christian Academy, which is a new school that is opening up in Norwood. They're now accepting enrollment for grades pre-K through 12.
Yeah, they want to provide an opportunity for strong, fundamental academic Christian education in a safe, loving environment, emphasizing tools to reason, logic, and problem solve with a spiritual foundation for children. They based upon God's word and biblical standards rather than the secular and cultural pressures and influences.
And now the Trinity Pentecostal Church, which is located at 2719 Norwood Avenue. They have their services on Sunday and on Thursday. And I'm sure that they're always willing to welcome anyone who would like to be a part of that service. It's always interesting to see the different vehicles that we can find in the city.
And you know, the churches in our community have always been very active participants in our parade. They have just really come out year after year and taken part and been a really integral part of the parade.
And they're telling us to make heaven make heaven our future.
Right. The theme of the parade this year is Norwood, Gateway to the Future. And so this ties right in with Make Heaven Your Future.
And what a bunch of cute little angels are out there on that heavenly float going by. Now we have the Norwood Historical Society that is celebrating its 30th anniversary back in May. It meets every second Saturday of the month at 2 p.m. at the Metallic Nature Reserve at Linder Park. And that's a wonderful building if you haven't been in there.
It's wonderful. You know, they always do the McCullough Holiday Open House in December, and they're having a raffle for 2 limited edition die-cast scale models of the Norwood police cars with a drawing in December at the open house.
And another church in Norwood, the Growing Place Church, which is located at 3728 Floral Avenue. And they're singing out for us all.
And the theme says, Touching Tomorrow Today. It is Tony Cornelius' birthday. She is the musical director. Happy birthday, Tony.
And they're followed by representatives from Foundation Bank.
Foundation Bank is a gold sponsor of the parade. They have 4 locations downtown, Norwood, Woodlawn, and Hyde Park.
And if you've ever seen that beautiful mosaic in the front of that bank showing different houses in the city.
It's beautiful. It says, our personnel pride themselves on providing quality service in a prompt and professional manner. Now they have 4 branches to serve you, and we offer very competitive rates at a modern rate. And as always, our another diamond sponsor, United Dairy Farmers. They're the producer of the United Dairy Farmers milk, dairy, and ice cream products and homemade brand ice cream. They operate over 200 dairy convenience stores, and they're owned and operated by the Robert D. Lindner family. And we last year got a 3-a-day dairy grant, and at the end of the school year last year, the UDF cow came out to the middle school and helped us celebrate with a May Moo Fest. So we were very appreciative of the Lindner family and UDF for bringing out the cow for that occasion, as well as for our parade tonight.
And the truck that we saw go by, not this one, but the earlier truck, is a replica of the truck that was originally being driven when UDF was first founded by Carl Lindner's father, and it's been restored and is a wonderful thing to see at the parade. This one's a little more modern. I'm not sure if in 40 or 50 or 60 years we'll have that, but it's always an exciting thing, and we certainly appreciate the UDF being part of the parade.
I know this isn't on camera right now, but I want to make, while we're talking about the Lindner family, last year I asked Mr. Lindner, informed him that we didn't have any AEDs or automatic external defibrillators on hand within the city offices. Mr. Lindner gave us a grant at the Norwood Health Department, and we purchased 7 automatic external defibrillators, and I think we might be able to get one of these on TV. These are going to be they're going to be located throughout city offices. There's one on hand today down at Recreation. During the big, huge swim meet, we wanted to make sure that that got installed so that in case anybody was sick, we could use it. Thank you, Mr. Lindner, for the purchase of these AEDs. You will save untold lives. Thank you, Mr. Lindner.
And we're going by, we've had
We have the Seven Hills chapter of the Order of Eastern Star. It's the largest fraternal organization in the world to which both men and women may belong. It's a social order.
And before them, and I think we showed them before, were the members of the Job's Daughters that came by.
And now we have the Norwood Winton Carthage Masonic Lodge, number 557, located on Weir Avenue. It's celebrating their 200 years of Freemasonry in Ohio, and I heard that Mr. Lindner got a pin for a 65-year member. That is just incredible. They were formed in 1895 and have been at its present location at 2020 Hopkins Avenue since 1927. The name Norwood, Winton, Carthage is the result of multiple mergers with other lodges over the years.
And it's always good to see the service organizations that have been such a part of Norwood for so many, many years. And now we have another gold sponsor, Jerry Hoff and Company, who's a gold sponsor of the parade. And we appreciate all the sponsorship that comes through here. Without the sponsors, we couldn't put on the parade.
Wouldn't be able to give out the nice trophies and cash awards that are given out.
And this, I believe,
this is Ashland Avenue Baptist Church, located on the corners of Ashland and Lafayette Avenues, providing a gateway to an eternal future.
More heaven going by. We're certainly having lots of heaven in this parade.
Let's hope it rubs off.
And those are nice white clouds, no storm clouds going by. And then this is coming up is a group that I know you've participated with, Donna, the Relay for Life, which always has a presence in Norwood. We're not seeing them right now, but they'll be coming up next.
The Relay for Life, this was the 7th year in a row that Relay for Life was held, and Michael Gabbard and Mary Deaton were the co-sponsors this year. They raised $64,000 for the American Cancer Society, and the event continues to grow each year. They work really hard at it, and I know it sounds crazy, but you go at 6 o'clock on a Friday night and you stay all night until 12 o'clock on Saturday, someone continually walking. Cancer never sleeps. And that's why you have members of your team walk the track.
And we have now a representative from CarX that's had a shop up on Edmondson Road for many, many years. And we welcome them to the parade. Again, these beautiful convertibles.
Next we have Hamilton County Commissioner Todd Portune.
And again, as I said, there are 2 county commissioners. Todd Portune is currently the county commissioner, and he's running for re-election this November.
It is amazing that Commissioner Portune has walked all this way. He has just had a struggle and has done some rehab, and it's just remarkable that he's been able to walk all this way. That nice Ford Mustang convertible, Jane, by the way, was supplied by Walt Sweeney Ford.
And now we have the Zion United Church of Christ, which is located on Montgomery Round, just after Montgomery Road. And they're having a vacation Bible school from July 28th through August 1st. And that week it's also going to be a beach party, which is why we see all that. There goes a shark.
They're going to be surfing through the scriptures. Did you make the Jimmy Buffett concert?
I did not. I'm getting too old for Jimmy Buffett, I'm afraid. I can't stay up that late anymore. Okay, and then we have Eagle Towing Service.
It's by Ralph Johnson. Ralph has been in the towing business for over 30 years. He and his wife care for their customers, and they offer towing both locally and long distance at very reasonable rates. Ralph also does lockouts and jump starts. I've had to have a few of those.
You know, I've noticed that towing seems to have changed. You don't have those chains pulling up cars anymore. They put them on these flatbeds and that.
Seems that way.
We have the Star Strutters. We're located in Hyde Park, Mount Lookout, and we welcome them to Norwood. They're sponsored by American Legion Post 744. Their girls range in ages from 3 to 20, and they've won numerous awards around the city. And again, baton twirlers. This is something I can do. I really, really, really can. Maybe not with flames, but, well,
wow.
Maybe not. Maybe not as good as they do. So there are the Star Strutters, and we welcome them to Norwood.
I think they have several contingents here. I think they have the older girls are coming first, and then followed by the younger girls.
See, I can wear nifty costumes like that too, you know? Well, and maybe not that either. welcome all the youth groups that come out and participate in the parade. You know, this is the 116 years we've had this parade.
And of course, you know, Jane, this all started when Mayor Aaron McNeil wanted to have a parade because we had our own water system. That well in the water system isn't active today, but we're on Cincinnati water. But the parade continues, and we're lucky to have good, clean water to drink.
And that now is connected with Norwood Day, which has been up at Coney for years and years. I remember going there when I was a little girl, so it's been forever that it's been there. And here come the minis. These are the little tiny Star Strutters. So this whole parade is a celebration of lots of events in Norwood, with Norwood Day, with all the prizes and all the things going on up there that raises money for the business women. And of course, in the weekend, we have Holy Trinity Festival, so just a whole week worth of stuff. And we have a very interesting truck comes by. We're not real sure.
Upward.org. Basketball and cheerleading.
And they're sponsored by the Norwood Baptist Church. The Baptist Church, Norwood Baptist Church, is located at 2037 Portland Avenue. And they have cheerleading and basketball for kindergarten through 4th grades.
Sandwiched in between there is the Norwood Branch Library. I see Tina Messerschmidt there, branch librarian. We've worked with them over the years, and I know they work with the seniors down at the community center. Followed by the Margaret Walker Academy. Partners with Head Start Enhancement Programs and New Commandment Christian Center. They provide services for children 18 months through 12 years of age. The center is dedicated to the education and care of children while away from their parents.
And now we have another candidate, Judge Lubers.
I met Jody Lubers at the festival at St. Cecilia, and she told me she is a 3rd-generation judge. Now that's calling it in. That's all about family. She's going to be running for a Common Pleas judge spot.
And that's all the judge shots that are coming up in this November are all going to be for Common Pleas. They alternate between Common Pleas one year and Municipal Court the year after.
We have some more sponsors, silver sponsors, Ferguson Moving and Storage and Cruzy Hardware. Ferguson provides local as well as long-distance moving. They also do packing, and they offer storage. And Cruzy sells hardware, window screens, repair and replacement, propane, key copies, home repair, seasonal merchandise sales.
And you know, it's really nice to have a local, non-chain hardware store. Those are the most fascinating places in the world.
They have so many things. I went in last week and purchased about 7 or 8 things, and they get them right off the wall, and they know you. They've been open since 1947. They're friendly. They have whatever they don't have in the store, they'll get for you. And I want to put in a plug. They're taking care of 4 of our plants this year, 4 of our pots, and they're doing a wonderful job of keeping those watered. So thank you, Cruzy Hardware.
And I see a hearse going by, but I'm not really
I think that's from Treadway Pollitt Funeral Home. Treadway Pollitt is located on Cameron Avenue, and the hearse is being driven by Steve Ratliff. Treadway Pollitt is locally owned and operated and has been in Norwood since 1892.
And now, following them, as we can hear a band coming up, there's Matlock Electric is the gold sponsor, and there are the organizations sponsoring the Roger Bacon High School Band, and they're always a treat to hear Roger Bacon play.
Roger Bacon is one of the most visible bands in the tri-state and was recently named Best High School Marching Band by City Beat. By the way, Quatman Cafe won Best Burger, so way to go, Quatman. The band travels around the tri-state, but also around the country, recently visiting Williamsburg, Virginia, and Washington, D.C.
This parade is sponsored by the Norwood Chamber of Commerce, and we're always glad to have them here. And right now we have Lou Ann's Hair Boutique,
Luann's is a family-friendly hair salon. She says they have experienced stylists that specialize in cuts, color, perms, and highlights. I have a few of those. Stop in and check out our special prices that will make you smile. Oh, there's a hair dryer.
A very big hair dryer. And in case you haven't washed your hair, I see there's also a squirter gun going by to make sure your hair gets washed properly.
Very cute, very cute.
And now they're followed by the Salvation Army, emergency support services. They're there for any kind of problems, fires, tornadoes, floods. And we almost needed them after the winds last night.
There have been several times when I've been called out to a fire to help families, and the Salvation Army has been there for large fires, assisting our fire department. And of course, we do have a Salvation Army facility over on Park Avenue.
It's been there for many, many years. They have a thrift shop, and I know it helps people who are in great need of help over that on Park Avenue. A wonderful organization. A loud organization, though. And again, we want to remind everybody that with the parade tonight, we also have Norwood Day at Coney tomorrow up at Coney Island, and of course the Holy Trinity Festival coming up the weekend. So there's lots to do. There's also a major swim meet down at Waterworks Park today, wasn't there?
Took place, preliminaries were yesterday and the finals were today, so that's why Recreation did not have a specific entry into the parade as they normally do. I'd also like to say that Public Works was supposed to be in the parade. They were called out about 2 o'clock in the morning this morning. These guys have been working all day. They were not able to be in the parade because they are still out cleaning our streets, making sure that the roads are passable. They set up the reviewing stand today. Those guys have just really worked very hard today. So I want to personally say thanks. Kudos to Public Works for all the work that they did.
A wonderful, wonderful job. Now we have U.S. Bank. We had the ATM a little while ago. That's what I need, is a walking ATM that follows me around.
It would always follow you.
And the U.S. Bank has been serving the city of Norwood under various names since 1890s. I think my very first bank account was with one of their predecessors.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was in the 1890s, Jane.
Not quite that far away, but thank you, Donna, anyway. They're proud to be a part of Norwood. And now Wright Pat, another financial institution. Now, do we call them Wright Pat or Wright Patterson? Everything I see calls them Wright Pat. So
they've shortened themselves to Wright Pat. You used to have to be associated with Wright Patterson, and now membership is available to anyone who lives or works in Norwood. So you don't have to be affiliated with Wright Patterson in the Air Force. It's a great free benefit to employees, and they're located over on the corner of Smith and Lafayette.
And they've got a special van going through, helping people through life. And another candidate, Robert Gehring, running for county treasurer, not to be confused with Tim Maloney, who we saw earlier as the city treasurer. This is for the county treasurer. He's responsible for seeing that the unclaimed fund books are on permanent display in Norwood, so anybody who's missing some money, go check out your name in the unclaimed funds. I know they're up at the library, and they're also, I believe, at City Hall.
They are at City Hall. They are located in the auditor's office. I know a couple of people who actually got money back from those unclaimed funds. It's usually funds that maybe were in a bank account that you forgot about, or a relative perhaps forgot about.
And, also gift certificates.
Gift certificates. I heard that a large majority of folks don't use up all those gift certificates.
And now we have the FBI for Jesus coming with the New Haven Baptist Church. And they brought their whole church along with them, I see. New Haven Baptist Church is located at 2417 Indian Mound and has been a big part of Norwood for many, many years. What a beautiful little church they have in their float.
They have Sunday school at 10 o'clock, church service at 11, and then they have Sunday night service at 6 o'clock. And then Wednesday night service at 7 p.m.
You know, what's been really nice this parade is that almost every church that has gone by has been regaling us with church music, and that's
right.
been very pretty to hear coming by.
And the theme of their parade is the cross is the gateway to our future. It can be yours too. What a beautiful float.
Nice to see so many active and enthusiastic people on there. And next is committee for Fred Nelson for judge. And Judge Nelson is currently a Common Pleas judge. This is again back with the New Bethel, but this is Judge Nelson. And Donna, you talked about family members. Somewhere in that group is my sister, Kathy.
We'll have to point her out. Judge Nelson was first elected to Common Pleas Court in 2002 and is seeking re-election this fall.
Well, you know, Judge Nelson actually has a long history. He had served as White House counsel under the first President Bush and had a lot of experience in Washington, D.C. before he came back to Cincinnati with the Taft, Tinius, and Hollister. He also has been... He's an honors graduate of Harvard Law School and has been selected by the Ohio Supreme Court to participate in the Advanced Science and Technology Adjudication Resource Program. There's Judge Nelson there, and he is currently a judge, and I see my sister.
And I see your sister.
Yeah, hiding around there, trying not to get on camera.
We'll get you on.
And we're followed there by a gold sponsor, Sipsey Klein Realty. Again, we really appreciate the sponsors that have come up. Before we got to them, there he is, William Brayshaw, the Hamilton County engineer.
You know, the engineer's office did us a favor, and they made sure that the overpass over Hopkins Avenue was safe and sent us a letter and let us know that, and we appreciate that. Mr. Brayshaw, county engineer.
And he's been county engineer for quite some time.
Been there a long time. You and I remember that. We probably shouldn't say that.
That's true.
We've been around a while.
And again, another judicial candidate, Jerry Metz, who's running for judge in the Hamilton County Court of Common Pleas. He lives in Mount Washington, but he attended school at Xavier University and the University of Cincinnati College of Law. And he said that his son and daughter first marched in this parade many years ago with the Norwood YMCA.
A lot of parade people got their start marching with the YMCA. Jerry serves as serves the court as a mediator and arbitrator.
That's correct. The court is very interested in alternative resolutions. It takes forever to get cases, especially civil cases, tried. So there's what we call alternative resolution of disputes. So those are try to get people to settle without having to go through court. And again, we want to thank everyone for coming out, and we want to thank the members of the Chamber of Commerce for putting on this parade. It's always an exciting time out here. And it's all in celebration of the city of Norwood, Norwood Day at Coney. There's all kinds of activities going on there. Then we have a Blayless Roofing and Sheet Metal Company, which is a family-owned roofing and sheet metal company where they've been residents of the city of Norwood for over 40 years.
It says they specialize in slate roofs, tile roofs, and box gutters, but they'll work on all types of roofs and gutters. I'd like to thank our judges again. Remember, they'll be scoring the entries as they come by, and we have several trophies to give out and some cash awards to some of the groups. All that courtesy of our sponsors, those platinum, gold, and diamond sponsors who provide the funding to do that.
And again, our judges are Austin Johnson, Melanie Natham, Jim Thaxter, and Cynthia Rogers. And we thank them very much for their participation in this parade. And also on the reviewing stand, we have a number of past grand marshals.
Yes, we do.
We have Mary Kuhn.
Mary Kuhn told me tonight that on this date, she is celebrating the 50th anniversary of being in business, being a hairdresser here in Norwood. 50 years. That's amazing. Congratulations, Mary. On your 50th anniversary of in business. Congratulations.
Norwood Day Parade. How about that? 50 years more.
We have Charlie Geraci up with us. He's a past Grand Marshal.
And his wife, Helen Geraci, who's a former council member.
Of course, we have Carl Linder, who was a past Grand Marshal.
And has always been such a great sponsor of the city of Norwood.
And I know Richard Linder was a Grand Marshal.
So we welcome all our past Grand Marshals back to the parade, and we appreciate them being a part of it. That's what happens in Norwood. Once you get involved in something, you stay involved in it.
It's like you always come back. We're getting a shot of some of the people who are watching the parade. We've got a really good contingent to come out. You know, once that rain blew through and it was ugly, it's really cooled things off, and it's been a whole lot less humid.
And we have another gold sponsor coming by for La Rosa's Norwood, who provided us all up here in the reviewing stand with some wonderful pizza before the parade began. And again, more people watching the parade, but La Rosa, again, is a gold sponsor, and we again thank all the various sponsors of the parade. Without them, we would not be able to put on the parade, we would not be able to sponsor the trophies. It really makes this a wonderful community event that I know everybody looks forward to, and we really, really thank our sponsors.
Jim Von Haney does a really nice job over there at La Rosa's. All of his staff is really well trained in the food code, and they're just really easy to work with. In front of them, I think we've missed Jim Stith.
And that silver SUV, and I see Jim walking along.
Jim's our current city auditor. He's since taking office in January of 2008, he's improved the efficiency of the auditor's office and modernized many of its systems. As the auditor, he's working hard to help bring the city into the 21st century by modernizing our city services.
It looks like he's working hard giving out goodies to the people along the side of the street.
He sure is.
You know, that's another Norwood tradition. If you don't get enough candy at Halloween, just wait for the Norwood Day Parade. There's plenty of... Oh, and there goes that cannon again.
Well, you know, right in front of them, I don't know how they found somebody to drive the truck, but there is a Norwood Public Works truck in the parade, and we really, really want to thank you for the work that you did last night. They maintain all our water mains, streets, signs, and paint, parks, city buildings, traffic signals, and vehicles. They have 22 full-time people, and I bet every one of them were out last night.
And
I don't think they've been to bed.
But that is not what we're seeing on the camera
That
right
is
now.
not.
Trust me. But that is the boxcar that is very popular here. Nobody likes to be right in front of them, though. It's the 48 boxcar, and every once in a while they'll be sending off that. Oh, there it goes. That cannon.
It means 40 men and 8 horses.
And that's the capacity of that particular boxcar that was carefully stenciled on all the French boxcars. But you don't have to know French to know that. They'll be glad to explain it all to you.
It's an honor society of veterans who hold membership in the American Legion. So, welcome. You're always a fun part of the parade.
They're followed by stone lanes. You know, bowling is really coming back into popularity. And they also sponsor teams. And it looks like they sponsor not only bowling teams, but baseball teams.
You know, they have 28 lanes of bowling down there. They have billiards. They have a lounge and food. And they said it's a great place for league play. And they actually have some birthday parties. And looks like they're the proud sponsor of the Stingers.
And then again, another political entry, Rebecca Grappi, who's running for re-election as the Hamilton County Recorder. That's the person who takes care of making sure your deed and your land is all taken properly recorded. So You don't have to worry about having any problems when it comes time to sell your property.
She's even got some four-legged supporters.
That's right.
I understand Rebecca Prem-Groppy was a Bengal cheerleader at one time.
Do you think she knew how to twirl batons?
I bet she could twirl a baton.
I could do that if somebody asked me to. And they're followed by another longtime Norwood business, A.B. Locksmiths.
Norwood's key for the gateway to the future. They're right in the heart of Norwood, right down on Montgomery Road.
And they're followed?
They're celebrating their 75th anniversary, and that big red key on top goes back to the 1940s when at one point in time it hung on the front of their shop.
And I think I do remember that key. They're followed by the Dry House for Congress group. Steve Dryhouse is running for U.S. Congress in this 1st Congressional District.
He's a current state rep, is he not, Jay?
That is correct. And is running for the United States House of Representatives. So we welcome him to Norwood. I know he's a West Side boy, so welcome to Norwood.
You came east of Vine Street, huh?
And again, another silver sponsor, Ryan's Carpentry and Perry Contracting.
Perry Contracting is a general contractor located on Wayland Avenue in Norwood. And James Perry is president and owner of Perry Contracting.
And Buffalo Wild Wings, which is located over in the Rookwood Shopping Center.
Pavilion.
The Pavilion. I never can remember which one's the Pavilion, which one's the Commons. I always call them Rookwood 1, 2, and unfortunately we haven't seen 3.
We haven't seen 3 yet.
And looks like they brought their own buffalo with them. I don't see any wings on them, but... And then followed by our law director, Ted Kaiser, and his family and friends.
See Chris Brown walking his dog. That doesn't look like a very vicious animal, Chris. That's good. We like that.
Chris Brown is the assistant law director, and we.
There's Ted. Ted works down in Hamilton County right now.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not in the prosecutor's office,
as well as being our law director. If you've watched council meetings, you've noticed that Ted and Jim Stith have been attending the council meetings to give any advice that the city needs. And we're followed by a very big Statue of Liberty.
Liberty Tax Service, Gina Pinto Williams. They're Norwood's premier tax service, open year-round. They have lots of tax service professionals.
And I remember when they opened up,
There's Gina.
There were people that were parked on the corner and in the cold and the wet and rain, waving their hands.
That's correct. That is a very, very big blow-up of the Statue of Liberty. Liberty Tax Service.
And again, they're one of our newer businesses in the downtown Norwood area, and we welcome them, and we hope to see them in the parade for a long time. And this is Wayne Coates, who's running for county recorders.
He's got that 1995 Ford Mustang convertible.
Again, we get to see all these classic cars here. That's what the the parade is all about, seeing some really interesting cars going by. How many cars have you ridden in the parade?
I don't know if I did. Whenever I was in the parade, I think I walked.
And then we have, again, more silver sponsors, Fast Signs, and Negley Club and Islandor Funeral Home. And again, very supportive Norwood businesses, and we appreciate their support for the parade.
Fast Signs located off of Ridge Road, and of course Negley Club and Islandor Funeral Home with Bernie Negley and staff. They're a class act. They do traditional services, alternative services, cremation, pre-funeral planning, aftercare, DNA profiling, and storage to preserve your loved one's medical and genetic history. Bernie's been a great supporter of the city of Norwood.
And this is Steve Brinker, who is a candidate for Hamilton County Treasurer. It's good to see all the different candidates that are showing up on both sides of the ballot so the people can see who their choices are coming this November. There are a lot of important elections besides the presidential election this November. I don't think we're going to see any of the presidential candidates, but...
You mean they couldn't come?
maybe they just were too shy to appear in Norwood.
Well, you know, as Steve Brinker says, he's the chairman of the board of Green Township Trustees, and he's a member and chair of the board of the Oak Hills Local School District. Now, that's a job that you gotta love.
And here's a group that certainly made themselves known this year, the Burwood Park parents who have came before, you know, the Recreation Commission was looking to close Burwood Pool, and these parents stepped to the plate and said, we will take care of it, we will make sure people are there, and they certainly have done that.
They were featured on Channel 19 the other night. What a great story about the parents who raise money, make sure that the kids are down there. I hear they're averaging over 60 kids a day that swim down at Burwood Pool.
And they have a float here to thank Norwood for allowing them the opportunity, and it's just great to be able to see that pool going.
It is. Nice neighborhood pool. Next, we have Shabbat for Congress. Congressman Shabbat could not be here tonight because of a voting schedule in Washington, but his famous Shabbat cups are still being handed out along the parade route. I have several of those in my house, and they're
have more
always
than
fun.
several.
Congressman Shabbat represents Ohio's 1st congressional district, which includes Norwood. And I've noticed that recently, quite frequently, I'll get a phone call where Congressman Shabbat does town meetings from Washington when he does them by phone. And you can actually listen in on the town hall, ask questions, and if they don't get to you, they will call you back with an answer. So it's been a really interesting experience. I think there's Victor Schneider, one of our councilmen, handing out cups for Congressman Shabbat.
And right now we're seeing Martha Good, who is a candidate for Clerk of Courts. She's an experienced attorney who has worked in state and federal court, and she graduated first in her class from UC's Law School. She's currently a political science professor and has been a law professor in the past. And
next we have Chris Dole for Hamilton County Commissioner. Chris is currently a Crosby Township trustee. He's running as an independent candidate for Hamilton County Commissioner. Mr. Dole collected about 5,000 signatures to be placed on the ballot to provide a choice for Hamilton County voters
And
after the party bosses decided to cut a deal and run unopposed candidates.
He's followed by another political well, I guess courts are not supposed to be political. This is Russell Mock, who's running for election to the Court of Common Pleas. Judge Mock had served on the municipal court and is currently in the Hamilton County Common Pleas Court and is running for election in this November. Like I said, there's lots and lots of reasons to come out and vote in November. We have the Donato's PT Cruiser.
The home of America's original edge-to-edge pizzas. Donato's Pizzeria offers delicious selection at award-winning pizzas, subs, and salads that are available for delivery, dine-in, or pickup.
And do you know who the name of the person who founded Donato's?
John something.
John Grody.
John Grody.
Not that
a
he's
relative?
Not a relative, and I don't get any kind of free pizzas, but
Well, they're located in Rookwood Pavilion as well. To end our parade, as always, we have the Syrian Shriners and all the various units. But I think we have a presentation that Tracy Tomer from the Chamber of Commerce would like to make to E. Bud Wilhite, who is the potentate of the Syrian nobles. Tracy?
and I think they're coming forward to meet with Tracy.
We were so fortunate many years ago to have the Shriners in our parade. They were put at the end, and that's always a spectacular place. We love it that people stay to watch them, and they have so many different and varied units. All of these are volunteers who come out, and of course, I would think that everybody would know the great work of the Shriners. We are truly blessed in Cincinnati to have the Shriners Burns Institute.
And that is a hospital that treats children with serious burn injuries absolutely free. No cost to them. Money's all run by the Shriners to come forward and purely on the contributions, the money that they raise. So we appreciate the Shriners being here. It's always so much fun to watch all their little cars and everything go by. So
I found out that they were chartered in 1877, and they're the 6th oldest temple in North America. And the backbone of the shrine are its 50-plus units and clubs who participate in parades and all other different kinds of civic functions. And of course, the number one function is operating those hospitals. They have 17 orthopedic hospitals, 4 burns, and 1 special hospital. And as you said, Jane, there are no fees or costs to all patients 0 to 18 years old. They're admitted free of charge. The 2007 budget for the hospital, are you ready for this? $870 million.
And the work is that they do is certainly very, very important. You know, service organizations seem sometimes to be on the decline, and we're always glad to see so many of the Shriners here. They do such wonderful work. We have many amazing local organizations that do that. Norwood Business and Professional Women's Group is one like that.
Kiwanis.
And there are many, many moose, eagles. Norwood is fortunate to have so many different organizations that participate within the city. And we're still waiting to make the presentation to the Shriners.
We have the Legion of Honor, Syrian Legion of Honor. Welcome, gentlemen. They are all military veterans.
And you can tell they're important. They get to sit through the parade. And I believe we are now going to do the presentation at this point from the Norwood Chamber of Commerce to the Shriners.
And this is Ebud Wilhite with Tracy Tomer.
And unfortunately, we don't have a mic, but we can certainly see the presentation being made. And I know on behalf of the Chamber, a monetary donation is being made to the Shriners to help them in their many good works. And out there is Mary Kuhn, and her husband just walked by you.
Mary's husband is the past potentate, and I know when that term was going on, Mary was quite busy as well. That's a huge commitment.
And so we are now going to be seeing a number of the different shrine units. Each of these volunteers join different groupings, and they're always a lot of fun to watch go by. We have the band. Oh, that looks the way my sister drives. Seeing the funny cars going by. The Shriner Clowns. Now that's the way we are going to be driving by. The Shrine Temple.
There's the director's staff.
Oh, and somebody taking a bath down the middle of Montgomery Road. There's the different cars. Kind of like the animated film Cars, where the eyes are in the
headlights.
That's right. I couldn't think of that word for a minute. Leaping Lena. And bicycle. More of us are riding bicycles.
That one looks a little bumpy to me.
And there's Leaping Lena getting up, and that's what.
That looks like fun. That looks like a lot of fun.
That's the way my sister drives. And again, we appreciate all the work these Shriners, they go out, they help entertain children as clowns and in the different units that they belong to, all to raise money for their various charity actions. Looks like a clown fire truck.
See, as I recall, Cincinnati or Norwood Council approved purchasing a new fire truck for the fire department. This isn't it, is it, Jane?
Could be. Could be. Oh.
Oh, I think he lost the back end.
You know, you're a brave man to
Oh,
be
there
out.
he is. Uh-oh.
The fire truck is on fire.
It's got to fix it. Uh-oh. Oh, they're coming out with their fire hose. Oh, no. Oh.
You know, some nights in Norwood Day Parade, those fire hoses are something you would look forward to. Tonight's not that hot, so.
Uh-oh. It looks like they're looking to put somebody else out. Oh, here they come. Yikes. Oh.
Get us every time. We always enjoy the antics of the Shriners. And what a beautiful night for a parade. After last night's storm, I didn't think we would have such a good night, but we certainly do. And tomorrow is going to be beautiful, and the weekend hopefully will be also beautiful.
I think less humidity tomorrow and only 82, so it'll be a nice day.
Nice day to go swimming up at Coney.
Absolutely. Play bingo.
And we have the Shrine Orientals.
He looks a little scary with that saber.
Obviously a very brave man.
I think he's leading the Syrian Oriental Band.
And they're followed by the Keystone Cops.
Those Keystone Cops usually have some kind of antics.
I'm sure we'll see something behind them. We're seeing all the mini cars. Just amazing how those go by. Here come the Keystone Cops again. Mini cars. All in formation. You know, the problem is getting out of those cars after you've been in them, some of those little ones. I don't know where they put their legs. Nope.
Oh, there's somebody that got arrested. All in fun, of course.
You know, these may be the kind of cars we're going to be driving if gas stays at $4 a gallon.
I bet they get a whole lot better gas mileage than we get on our cars. Look at the feet. I don't know if you can see this, but one of the cars has like legs in the front of it. Hopefully we can see that. There it is.
Oh, it surely does have legs in the front.
Maybe we'll see it as they come around again.
I think they're going on by us. Just in case somebody has a breakdown, they have a car ready to tow them around.
Now that looks more like the tow trucks that we used to.
That's right.
We know and love.
And now we have the fancy sports cars. There's Chevettes and
The Maharajas. The Maharajas. These are the road youngsters. I've seen some people driving down Montgomery Road like this sometimes.
Yeah, so have I. Again, we appreciate the Shriners coming out to help us celebrate the Norwood Day Parade. It wouldn't be the parade without them. These are the Corvettes, I believe.
I think you're right, Jane.
Not quite like the one the mayor was in, but pretty fancy looking to me. Uh-oh, head on.
Yeah!
Oh, fancy driving there. That I've seen on Ashland Avenue sometimes.
Here we go again. Wow. Obviously, they've practiced this many times.
Let's hope.
Here's some of the folks that are along the parade route tonight.
Again, we've had a wonderful crowd for the parade, but then there always is a wonderful crowd for the parade.
It's nice to see folks who live in Norwood come out and look at the parade and support it, and as well as folks who maybe have left us and come back to see the parade and renew acquaintances.
And here are the Syrian mini racers. You know, you never know when relatives are going to show up at these parades. And people haven't been here for years.
If you're walking up Montgomery Road tonight after the parade, take a look at Heritage Park next to City Hall. A couple of members of the tree board, Linda Pruce and Renee Durker, have done just a really wonderful job of cleaning that up and planting flowers. Kind of puts a little exclamation point on the parade with the way City Hall looks. The planters at the top of the steps at City Hall and Heritage Park next to City Hall. It's a special parade, and they wanted to do something special for the city.
And we have a few more Shriners coming down, and we're getting to the end of the parade. And while we have an opportunity, I'd like to thank all the many volunteers that make this parade possible, both with the Norwood Chamber of Commerce, the parade marshals, the people who make sure everybody gets off right, certainly all the volunteers with Norwood Community Television who have filmed this, allow this to go out over the cable access channels so people at home can see this, and just make this all just, again, a wonderful event in the city of Norwood.
And let's not forget Norwood Public Works for giving a little extra today to make sure this happened and cleaning up Montgomery Road. They said it looked like a war zone when they came out this morning, and you'd never know it by the look of Montgomery Road today.
I know when I came up to City Hall, the power was just restored and reviewing stands hadn't even been put up, and Public Works was out cutting down trees and getting electricity restored and that, and they've just done a wonderful job, so greatly appreciate it. And it looks like we're coming to the end of the parade. The motorcyclists with the Shriners are our last unit, and they're followed by the Norwood Police Department. I'm not sure, we do have the results of the trophies.
Yeah, we would like to thank the Norwood Police for starting off the parade and escorting the end of the parade to make sure that all the participants were safe throughout the parade. Thanks, Norwood Police Department.
And I think at this time we can announce the winners of the trophies. The President's Trophy goes to the U.S. Bank entry, and we congratulate them.
The Board of Directors Trophy that goes to a business with 100 or less employees is that Liberty Tax Service with that huge Statue of Liberty.
And you know, I have to sit up straight since we're on camera now. All right, and now we have the Mayor Aaron McNeil Trophy that goes to a civic, church, or nonprofit, goes to the Norwood Little Indians Football League.
Mayor Aaron McNeil would be proud of them. The Judge's Choice Award, which is the first place award, goes to the Star Strutters Baton Corps.
And the Musical Performance Entry Overall Award goes to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Pipe and Drum Corps.
The best float and the winner of $500 for their work on that float, they're going to be so happy, are the Burwood Pool Parents Committee with that wonderful Thank You Norwood float for Burwood Pool.
And I'm sure they'll be able to use that $500 to keep those events going on at Burwood Pool. And our second place float with the winner of $250 goes to the New Haven Baptist Church entry. And again, I'm sure they'll find a good use for that money.
I'm sure they will.
Well, Donna, we've come to the end of another parade, the 116th one. Hopefully we'll be back here next year for the 117th.
Good Lord willing and the creeks don't rise, as they say.
We remind everybody of all the wonderful events still coming this week. The Norwood Day Parade, Norwood Day at Old Coney, sponsored by the Businesswomen, which will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, July 23rd. And of course the Holy Trinity Festival, which will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So lots going on in Norwood. Lots of reasons to have fun this week in Norwood.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm sure this is going to be rebroadcast on Norwood Cable Television. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.
Good night, everyone.